Every year, PV students are able to take a science class. For seniors, those who have met certain criteria are eligible to take AP Physics. AP Physics is a class that focuses on the specifics of physics and dives further in depth of why everything in the world does what it does.
AP Physics is a class for seniors that's taught by Miss Strauchs, and it's essentially just physics honors on steroids, and you just cover more topics more in depth, and you learn more about how things work.
AP Physics is hard. Not gonna lie. It's not for the faint of heart. Don't go into it all cocky and like, oh, I could do this, because it's gonna kick you in the butt. But AP Physics is a lot of fun because you feel very accomplished after completing it. Like, it's the end of the year and I'm like, wow, I did that. So that's what I think of when I think of AP Physics.
AP Physics is a class that kind of puts your mathematical skills and your critical thinking skills to the test. It helps you really open up to see how math relates to the real world, which is something that most classes don't really do, so that's why it's really intriguing.
Math incorporated to every life situations, so it's exactly how we did like projectile. You see it like just in a simple like guy throws ball, and we basically calculate everything that has to do with that. It's pretty fun actually.
AP Physics is... Wait, how do I even explain that?
The class itself is hard, but the test is super hard. If you come into this class, you should probably start preparing for the test from like really early on, or else like you're gonna struggle later.
Well, AP Physics is advanced placement physics, and it's kind of hard. It's a college level class, so you're going to be doing hard problems, and it's still really interesting. You learn about a lot of cool topics in physics.
No student is required to take AP Physics. Each student has their own reasoning as to why they took the class. For some students, the class was just the next step in their learning process. However, for others, they have favorite lessons in physics that are taught in the class.
I took honors physics last year and I was interested in that, and just overall I enjoyed the class, so I just wanted to pursue further.
We did a lab where it was about centripetal force. We just basically had like 5 giant metal rings spinning in a circle. I'm pretty sure like many people nearly died that day. Not sure.
I took AP Physics because I really liked regular physics and all the labs and fun stuff we did, and I thought, hey, AP Physics is more the same and I can also get college credit for it.
My favorite part about AP Physics is when you're sitting there and you don't know what's going on.
Originally, I actually did not want to, but Miss Strauchs encouraged me to.
But then you do a problem and you get it right and you're like, aha, I get it.
It has to do with my major. I wanted to do engineering, and that's what I have to do. Physics is definitely a big part of it.
PV's AP Physics class wouldn't be the same without their beloved teacher, Mrs. Strauchs. Every student who takes the class feels the same way about her and only has great things to say about her.
I love Miss Strauchs. She feeds us. She's very motivational, but she's also very honest. So she's very good at making you know where you need to get better, and she helps you get better.
She's the greatest woman in the school. She's fabulous and fierce, and I love her.
I love her so much.
She's super supportive, and she really expects the best of you. Like, she pushes you to do things that you didn't really think you could.
Miss Strauchs is such a sweetheart. She reminds me of a little old like Russian grandma.
I love Miss Strauchs. She brings us donuts.
Miss Strauchs is probably one of the coolest or the coolest teacher I've had in PV.
It's crazy because she has an accent, and you're like, sometimes you don't understand what she's saying, but in the end you fully understand the topic, and it's crazy how you get to that point, and she's so good at it.
Miss Strauchs is awesome. She's just so nice and helpful, and just a really good person overall.
Oh, I love Miss Strauchs. Like, Miss Strauchs, I love you.
She made Jeffrey get up and open and close the door like 50 times in a row, and that was really fun.
She's very sweet and very encouraging and doesn't get mad at you when you mess up. She's very sweet. I really like her.
Even though they take the class, some students don't need physics in the future, while others have plans to further their career in physics.
I'm majoring in physics, so obviously it'll help me finish my education in it, you know, like a prerequisite.
Well, I'm gonna become an electrical engineer. I mean, sure, in this physics class we learned a lot of mechanics, but that kind of stuff, it's gonna stick with me. In any engineering course, like, you have to learn the basics and stuff, which we learned in here, and everyday life too. It never hurts knowing physics.
I'm not gonna be a physicist.
But really, it gives you a different, it lets you see the world through a different dimension. Like I said, it's really math. You're dealing with math to like solve like daily things, like everyday things. So like you really look at the world in a different way.
AP Physics is definitely gonna broaden my horizons and make sure that I get really good at the topics that are essential to my future career, which is engineering. So it's definitely gonna help me become better and get the foundations down earlier.
Well, physics is basically the backbone of the universe. Like, physics explains everything. So I honestly think, like, no matter what career path you go in, physics is always there. So I want to go into software. I don't really know how that would align, but if I go into like the technology aspect of software, then electrical physics, it's all there. So with my background with AP Physics, I can definitely go into college, take my classes, and have a good backbone.
At the end of each year comes the big AP Physics project, Rube Goldberg.
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 Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goodburger.
Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg.
Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube.
Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg.
Okay, we're done here. Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg.
Nah.
Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg. Oh God.
Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg.
I can't, like, Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg. I can't. Do I have to do this?
Rube Goldberg, Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Rube Gold. I don't even know how many times that was. I think Rube Goldberg. 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 Rube Goldberg.
This year, students split off into 3 separate groups. Each group has a team leader who decides who's on that team.
Well, the other team leaders kind of met in the center room, and we all like picked out who we wanted. Like I picked people who I thought were going to be really good and very talented. Like Melissa, I knew she'd be good at art and engineering because that's what she's doing.
It was basically like, a draft kind of thing. We just went around picking.
The team leaders met and we had the list of the classroom. Usually a bunch of friends, people I think that can work well together.
I picked those guys because I know they are excited about it and they're really good engineers. So, I was like, yeah, I gotta have them on my team.
I love Mike. Mike's very motivational. He knows how to get stuff done. He knows where we need to go and when we need to do it. So I think he's a very good team leader.
I do really like working with them. They're all really fantastic.
Mike's awesome. He really works hard and he's really dedicated. And he takes he takes everything seriously and he wants to do it well, which I love.
Mike is a really good team leader. I think he's really motivational, but he's also very open for everyone's ideas and tries to make sure everyone's happy with what they're doing, and he's not just gonna do things his way. He tries to be a group leader, which I really like.
Rizwan? I don't really know. I mean, I'm kidding. No, I love Rizwan.
Rizwan. Well, I think he's a very good leader. He really is. He stays on top of things. He checks up on everyone and the work.
Very, very, very good team leader.
Rizwan.
Rizwan's a team leader.
Rizwan.
I feel like he's gonna rule the world one day. He's just that kind of guy, and you gotta love him. I love Rizwan.
I think Irene's good. She divvies up the work well. She just yells at Matt a lot.
Our team leader can be 50-50. Sometimes she's really on it, and sometimes she's really having fun or really on top of us, hey, do your work. But she can be fun sometimes.
I like Irene. She's really sweet.
Once the groups are decided, the students collectively decide on a theme for their project. This year, the 3 themes are Nintendo, Saw, and Rick and Morty.
Mario's the winner.
Show me what you got.
Hello, future AP Physics students and others. You don't know who I am, but I know you. Look around. Know that I'm not lying. You better hurry up. Time is ticking. Live or die. Make your choice. Most people are so ungrateful to witness Rube Goldberg, but not you. Not anymore.
Game over.
They do a great job. It's amazing to see the best kids in our school not only put on, I get to see them as science people, as physics, AP Math, but to see their artistic creations and how creative they are designing all the steps and the processes. It's really impressive, and I'm just grateful that every year I get to be a part of it.
I think it's very cool. The fact that these students are able to think about what their goal is going to be and what's going to happen at the end of their project. They kind of have to work backwards, and gives them a different viewpoint, and I love the fact that they have to think that way. And I think it's a really cool thing. I'm really excited to see what they have to do this year. Last year, unfortunately, when we came, I went to see it, and we had the fire alarm went off, so everybody went running outside, and it was raining, so I'm really excited to see what they have in store this year.
Oh, I think they're terrific. I really like the fact that they work on something on their own and get a pretty difficult project completed in relatively quick time. So I think it's a very nice project. I'd love to find a way to sort of model something similar for my class. Not a Rube Goldberg thing, but I like the idea of a hands-on project that kids work on independently for a long time.
The final products are great. I mean, I've seen everybody at least once have a perfect round. The mistakes here and there are good, but it's also good to see how the team reacts to it. So that's what's really important. And they had fun.
I think every year they get really interesting. There's, although there's some commonalities about the projects, over the last few years, the themes have gotten much more popular and really, really creative. One of the things that I love about being a teacher is that I think projects should bring out multiple talents. So it's really nice to see the art incorporated music, chemistry, biology, all different types of the math aspect of it. I think all of that is great for a final project in any course. It should involve many different skills. And so the physics is on display, but many of your other talents, including even like the video portion of it, is on display, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
And every year, the Rube Goldberg projects end with a huge success. The weeks of hard work finally pay off when students get to present their projects for the entire school to see over a 2-day period.